Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another market close. I had to take a quick glance and make sure that we have the sound going. So hopefully you guys can hear me fine. It's another fantastic market. We got a green day that looks pretty darn awesome. So I got to say, much better than yesterday. The market, holy banana bread. What a dump it took yesterday. That was pretty darn red. All of it was pretty much fears about not market, but interest rate cuts. So one of the big prevailing things that came out yesterday morning is that there might not be a cut for the Fed this year. And oh, well, with that idea starting to float itself on the market, we had a very red day. Now, the day did get salvaged towards the end. Jay Powell came out and said, no, 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 you're reading it wrong. There's probably still going to be rate cuts this year. And that calmed the market, helped save it towards the end. And today we got a really green market, but you got to look at it. You got to look at it one way. You got to look at the fact that part of that green is the recovery from all of the chaos that was yesterday. So let's take a very quick look at the market here. Just give me a second here. I'm going to pull up my thing here. All right, here we go. All right. So over on the market side today, we got the TSX is up 0.89%. S&P 500 is up a full percent, well, 1.06. The NASDAQ's up 1.22. Look at gold. Gold doing well today, up 1.45%. And, well, silver's beating gold, coming up at 1.76%. Oil down a little bit, and Bitcoin is down about 1.25%. So we got a really interesting look on the market today. Whew. We'll take a quick look at the heat map. A lot more green. I like the look at this. Look at this, the Royal Bank, 1.57% up. We got Fairfax Financial down here at 1.68% up. CSU, I know somebody was asking me yesterday, what's going on with CSU? Well, they're moving in the right direction today, up 2.71%. Yeah, everything is looking pretty good. Even look at this, Alimentation Couche-Tard up 1.77. Loblaw's up. Dollarama definitely up 3.73%. Of course, Dollarama, they hiked their dividend at their last earnings call because they did fantastic. So Q4, basically the last part of 2023, 2023, we'll call it that way, was fantastic for them. A lot of people are buying. A lot of people worried about recessions, worried about the economy, worried about interest rates. They're spending at cheaper places, and Dollarama is soaking up all of that fun. So that's kind of fantastic. Let's look at the U.S. Wow, U.S. very, very green as well. Look at this, tech definitely rallying back. We got Meta up 2.9%, Microsoft up 1.73%, Amazon over here 2.69%. Tesla, though, what's going on with Tesla? Seems like they're always in the can. They're down 3.46%. So Tesla can't seem to get a win even if they try. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now, get ready for some red. This market's a little on the red side. This is your crypto market. You got Bitcoin down 1.19%. Solana's down 4.57%. So there's only a few. Oh, look at this. There's a little outlier here. Let's find out what this is. It's up 9.73%. It's the Near protocol. Okay. So Near protocol, if you have that obscure coin, you're doing well. You're doing well today. So that's the market. That's the way the market's looking right now. We still, of course, have, a good 10 minutes before we have the bell. And I'm ready today. I'm going to hit the bell. So by the way, those of you who are just browsing around saying, wait a minute, this isn't Wednesday. Why is there a market close? Well, one of the things, I did say this back in December when we were doing these every day for that event, that I was going to do Wednesday going forward, and I would occasionally try to squeeze in an additional one here and there. This is one of these additional ones. So I gave the community an opportunity to win it, and they came through. Mostly, you guys can thank Amanda the most. She dropped a membership, and that sealed the deal. That got us an extra stream this week. So here we are. We're here. We're having fun. All right. Okay, let me take a look here. All right, so that is the market thus far. Big news on the horizon. Those of you on Discord, I want to talk a tiny bit about Discord. Holy banana bread. So first of all, the Candace bot, or whatever we're going to call it, the scammers, they're out in full force. They are absolutely, hitting up people, trying to friend them, trying to scam them, all of that fun stuff. So that's what's going on over on Discord. Everything about Discord, by the way. I mean, the Discord server, I love it. I love the interaction we have over there. Just be wary. If you go over to Discord, your best bet, your very best bet is to send me a friend request over there. I will okay it. That way there, you're talking to me and you're not getting scammed by some scammy Candace bot or whatever it is. I assume it's a bot because its English seems to be too good to be a legitimate scammer, because a lot of the scammers I find don't have the best vocabulary. These ones do seem to have pretty good vocabulary. And it was really interesting. I noticed some of the accounts that these things are coming from. So one came from an account called Mountain Finance, but it had two eyes instead of, I think I can actually show you guys a picture of that. Give me a second. Let me grab the Discord. I'm going to bring it over here. There we go. I think we got it right here. Yeah, here it is, right here. I'm going to pull this up here. So if you guys can see this, this is a fake Candace. This is not a real Candace. They spelt it with two I's. See? So Mountain. So you have to be careful. They get you. I looked at it at first and I didn't catch it the first glance. But then I took a second glance and I was like, wait a minute, something's off about that. Then I saw the two I's. So yeah, that's kind of the way that they're going about getting you. There's something I want to show you guys. Let me see. Where is it? Pet Spot. All right. And you'll probably see her show up sometime today on the stream. This is the new cat. We named her Winter. So why Winter? Well, one, we have a cat already named Autumn. So I kind of like the season idea. So the next cat might be Summer. Who knows? She was born in February. So that's kind of like the middle of winter. And the day we picked her up, we had a snowstorm happening here in Ottawa. So it felt like winter was arriving. And it pretty much was.
Winter is arriving.
Uh-oh. All right. I have Winter. She is here. All right. Give me a second. Oh, let me bring this up full screen here. Whoa. So you guys can see. All right. There we go. This is Winter. Say hi, Winter. All right. She doesn't talk yet. We haven't taught her that yet. But this is Winter. She is a nice, cute little white kitten. And, you'll see her from time to time now. So there we go. Winter is a nice cat. Look over here, Winter. There's the camera. There we go. So everybody, this is Winter. Congratulations, Winter. I would let her ring the bell, but once again, we haven't taught her yet how to do that. All right, Winter, I'm going to put you down. There we go. Winter is off to do winter things, as in Winter the cat thing, as opposed to skiing and ice skating. Once again, we haven't taught her how to do any of those yet either. I don't even think a cat can ski. Maybe it could. I don't know.
You catch skis with you.
There we go. Yeah, you put skis on a cat and push it on a hill. You got a skiing cat. That's just definitely a different looking image. All right, we got a few people in the chat. Bismarcky is in here saying thank you, Amanda. That's for the channel membership that she dropped the other day to win this extra stream. We got Keith in the house with a howdy all, and we have Change to Spare, who's here with a quick old hello there. Yeah, we don't seem to have as much people in here, but that's because, well, I didn't really advertise that we're doing this extra one. So a lot of people probably don't even have a clue that we're here. For that reason, I'm going to tell you, hit the like button. Hit that button, everybody. Turn it blue. That will basically let the algorithm know, hey, this isn't a normal stream. Let's get it out there. Let's let people know so that way there we can get a few more bodies into the house. While you guys are hitting the like button, I am going to have a sip from my good old Starbucks mug. Great coffee, great, even better mug. I kind of have to give a spiel every time I drink, just in case I attract that Starbucks ad bot again. So those of you who never saw that, that was pretty much a funny event. When we had a Starbucks ad bot, it came in, and every time I took a drink of coffee, super sticker, super sticker. So that was definitely really cool. Hey, HMM.A, so Hammond Manufacturing, they finally dropped another dividend. So they're the semi-annual. So you get 2 of those a year. So it's nice to finally have a second one. So I really liked seeing that this morning in my emails. Like, oh, I got one from Hammond. So fantastic. And I know those of you who have been loading up on Hammond, hopefully you all got that dividend today as well. So that is, of course, fantastic. I'm just taking a glance at the time here. Coming up Monday. Monday is our big eclipse day. So we have a total solar eclipse happening on Monday. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I actually do have a news story for the weekend that we're going to do on this week on the eclipse. So I don't want to go too deep into that right now. And I will point out, if you like pictures with eclipses in them, every picture I use for this week coming up on a Sunday will have an eclipse in them. So you're going to see a lot of them. And you know what? Let's do you guys want like a sneak peek? I can give you a sneak peek of one of these pictures. Well, right here, yeah, you kind of can already see, but here we go. This is our main non-story picture. Our good old bear and bull watching the solar eclipse wearing their special eyeglasses. So you never want to, and I'll say this now, and I'll say this again on Sunday because it's that important, but you never want to watch the solar eclipse with your bare eyes. You also don't want to take a camera and take a picture of it without having protection for the camera as well, because that, the sunlight can actually, it focuses cameras the way they work. They actually narrow it down, the light, and they can focus it. And I've seen some pictures and some video of people who are trying that in a previous eclipse, and they actually caught their camera on fire by doing that. So those special filters, you use them for your eyes, use them for your cameras, except when you have totality, however you say that word, totality, when you have totality. So when the moon completely eclipses the sun and you got the corona all around it, that's the one time you can actually look at it without your glasses and take pictures of it without the filter as well. So that's just something to keep in mind to see how, in case any of you are actually going to be doing some eclipse viewing. So, we'll have to see. CS says hello all, and Winter. Winter meow. Well, she doesn't meow that much yet. I heard her purr for the first time this morning, and it was like a motorboat. She's got a very loud purr. Vinit's in the building. Hi everyone. Wow, you're spoiling us. Well, I always spoil you guys. That's why I only showed you the one that doesn't have a news story attached to it. That way there you can still keep guessing. I mean, if you go and look through the news for the week and say, okay, oh, this was a big story, then there's probably a chance I'm covering it. But not necessarily. Some stories I do skip because I look at them and I'm like, that's probably already been beaten to death. So we'll just leave that at that. Bismarcky says, I'm sure we will be hearing from Bonnie Tyler on Monday all over the radio. Yes, a total eclipse of the heart. And this is not in my story, so I can tell you guys this, but there's all of these products. I'm seeing stuff online about it that are special eclipse stuff, eclipse cookies, eclipse chips. There's one brand, I think, of chips in the States that they're only going to sell them during the 4 minutes of the total eclipse. So I'm like, how does that work? That to me is pretty crazy. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, I'm not going to watch the eclipse because I'm going to go buy those chips right now. So we'll have to see how that all that works out. Vinit says, so I have a cold and my nose is burning. Any ideas? Okay, well, that rumor about putting your nose on a frying pan to get rid of a cold, it does not work. No, kidding. Yeah, sometimes you just have to grit and bear it. You know what? Eat healthy, rest. That's the best medicine. You can't really do anything prevention once you've got that cold. It is a virus. You kind of have to let it run its course. Now, what might help your cold, your nose at least a little bit, maybe a little bit of steam. Maybe that might help you a bit. But yeah, you're gonna have to let it run its course. And Patricia's in the house with a hi, and we got JJ saying, "Hey, you all," and JJ's recommending that Vapo Rub. So Vapo Rub is good stuff. I mean, it will clear your sinuses right away. And here's a fun little thing. People who work around, I'll just say dead bodies. So people in morgues and stuff, a lot of them actually use Vapo Rub under their nose. So that way there, they don't have to smell some of the atrocious smells that would be in a job like that. So just one of these things. There we go. And JJ says, Candace, it's been a minute. Yes, I haven't seen you in the last few. I hope everything is okay. Hope you're doing well. Hope your investments are doing well as well. That's a big thing. Enid is in the house with a bell. There we go. I am about a minute late. So hopefully the market waited for me. I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe. We'll have to decide. All right. Vineet says, yes, I did steam at the gym and it worked yesterday. There we go. And Jill is recommending some tea and ginger. So, I would give it a try. If anybody knows about these things, it's Jill. Trust me on that. And, Vineet saying, yep, got the Vapo on too. Look at this. You got everything. You got everything going for you there, Vineet. All right. And JJ's investments up 25 cents, 25% since a year. That's not too shabby. That is not too shabby. You are doing it right. You are absolutely doing it right. Sophie says, hi, crew. Hello, Sophie. Good to see you. All right. JJ said, it's been good. Been busy. Couldn't make any of the previous live streams, but watched all of them. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that because let me tell you, you will, what's I going to say? That's most of my audience watches, probably the amount of people who, I think right now we're at a point where I think it's 66% now of the people watch it after the fact, and normally about 33. So roughly a third of the total views on the live streams are at the live stream. So that is absolutely fantastic. There's Mario. Look at the kitty cat. Oh my God. Yeah. She is absolutely a nice little cat. Like we've been looking, those of you who did not know, and those on Discord probably did, we had another kitten. Her name was Hazelnut. Actually, Hazelnutter Scotch is sort of named in her honor. She passed. So it was kind of tragic. We're all sad and everything. And, the best way to get over sadness for one kitty is to get a brand new one and open up some new challenges. So we're looking forward to seeing how winter comes along. Vineet says, speedy recovery. Yes, absolutely. And Jill says, can you not report the fake accounts on Discord? There's probably a way. I don't know yet, but I'm going to look into that because the whole Discord thing, I mean, I'm honored that, that scammers want to think I'm big enough that they should be scamming my people, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And that's one of the things I will say to you guys over and over again. Don't fall for anything. Even if you think it's me 100%, and I all of a sudden ask you for money, no, stop right there. It's probably a scammer. Other than maybe if I'm on here and I'm saying, hey guys, join the channel membership and things like that. That's just normal stuff. That's normal stuff. But I'm not going to reach out to you and say, hey, I got this great opportunity in crypto. I need you to send me all your Bitcoin and I'm going to get it doubled for you. That's not going to happen. It will never happen. Absolutely just will not happen. Trust me, not going to happen. So here's what I say, and I will say this over and over again. With Discord, I love all the things we can do over there. But yeah, there are those scammers. You got to ignore them. And the best way to ignore them is if you're over there, just fire me off a friend request. I will okay it. I may not okay it the second you fire it off. But within 24 hours, I'll always have everything answered and okayed and stuff. Send it off to me. then we're friends on Discord, and you know it's me who's talking to you. Or if you're reaching out, you're reaching out to me and not to some scammer who's going to have alternative designs on your cash. I just want your cash to grow. I don't want your cash to grow in my bank account. I want it to grow in yours. And that's just kind of the way it goes. Anyway, I hate scammers. JJ says, got to catch up on the AQN video after this. Yes. Yes. We just had a video drop like an hour and 45. Well, now it's 2 hours ago. So yeah, that was the AQN video. The one, you'll know it. You'll know it. You see the thumbnail. You'll see a dumpster fire. It's there. And Jeff says, poor Starbucks. Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, if that Starbucks bot was legitimately from Starbucks, and I mean, I don't know 100%. I just assume, but maybe. They got a lot of commercial. They got a lot out of that. And they really probably got it at a deal because they dropped about $60 on the channel that day. So or Jill says 30. I don't know what it was. Yeah, I think it was 30. I don't know. I don't know anymore, but still, they dropped a good amount of money, but not a lot. I mean, if they had actually done a sponsored video, they would have been paying a lot more than $30. So, that's kind of the way it goes. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy a nice sip of coffee, Starbucks mug. But the thing is, they kind of took away that one shtick because when I drank my coffee in the past, it's like it was my plea for Starbucks to sponsor me, and they kind of did in that way. So it's like I have to find a new stick when it comes to the drinking coffee. Oh well, I don't know. JJ says yes, you can report them on Discord as scam. I did for the 2 that tried to add me. Great, absolutely. All right, everybody. Any of you who get approached by any of the fake Candaces, report them for spam, for scam. Yeah, that's a great idea. I like that. Chad's in the house. We got a big old wave. All right, now the markets are closed. Let's just take a last final look at where we ended up. Oh, there's that sneak peek of this week coming up here. So let's bump over here to the market. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Let's move to this window. There's the kitten, by the way. You guys all get to see her live. All right, here we go. So everything did finish in the green. TSX up almost 1%. S&P 500 up 1.11%. NASDAQ up 1.33%. Gold still looking good at 1.5% up, and silver looking better at 1.73% up. We still got a little bit of red on the WTI and a little bit of red on Bitcoin. Now, the interesting thing with WTI, by the way, is, I'm going to have another drink here. Another good thing about WTI is there is a lot of pressure currently on oil for a price to the upside. So to keep that in mind, we're probably going to see oil going up. Everything from the Middle East to OPEC reductions. We're going to definitely see, I think oil's going to go back. You'll see, like right now it's at $86 a barrel. It won't take long for it to get back above 90 again because it was at 90 briefly. So it's going to happen. Just pulling that up. Final heat map. Once again, a lot of green. There's CNQ. CNQ, I'm going to pull them up. Look at this. Just look at this. Since February, they've gone from $80 up to $110. That's absolutely bonkers, and it's good. I do hold them in the 0 to 100 challenge, so I definitely like to see that movement on them. That's for sure. All right, and over to the U.S. Once again, yeah, all green. Amazon looking good. Nvidia. What's Nvidia at now? I'm just going to pull Nvidia back up. So yeah, Nvidia is still up around 880. They peaked up at 942. So, or 950 right there. I'd like to see them break that 1,000. I would love to see that. And we probably will see that, but not today and probably not next week. But you never know. We'll have to see how things go. And, I'll pull up Tesla just for a laugh. Look at this. The Tesla just can't get a break. So Tesla not doing too hot down at 164.86. I keep saying don't count Tesla out, but it gets harder and harder to say it sometimes. But I still believe it. I still believe Tesla will rebound at some point. Um, but right now, I'll tell you, looking at this, it's really hard to feel it. It's hard to feel it. So we'll have to go with that. And of course, cryptocurrency, yeah, all pretty much in the red, other than a couple choice little tunes. Ethereum not so bad, negative 0.10. Bitcoin though, well, let me just show you here. We'll go back here. There we go. So, I mean, at one point today, Bitcoin was doing okay. Here's another interesting thing. If you guys were here on Wednesday, we very quickly just did this chart because I saw a pattern on here and I was mentioning that it was probably going to break up to here. Well, look at this. It did exactly as we were predicting. You got to love it when it does that. And it's kind of interesting. Like it could have, I mean, there was a much smaller chance from this pattern that it could have broke down to like 63, but I was feeling the upside. I was definitely feeling the upside. They did it. So gotta like that. But then of course they get here and then now they're kind of drifting back down a little bit. So anyway, that's Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin for you. All right, let's get back to the chat. Gonna remove the screen. And we got Keith in here. BCE, do they really have a moat or can they be asked to share with new competition at the stroke of a pen? So mobile, fiber, internet. They do have a moat. When you're looking at them, they do have a good cash flow. They've got a good cash flow. Their debt is it's really not as that bad. I mean, both them and TELUS, their debt, I mean, it's big, but that's kind of normal. That's, it is normal for them. Now, here's the thing. Yes, there's always that regulation that happens. The CRTC can get in there and mess things up at all times because they do. But I mean, as a consumer, it's probably not as bad. I do think we're going to see a little bit of a shakeup within the communications. If Quebecor could get their ducks in a row, they have the assets for a national carrier because where they purchased Freedom Mobile and the whole deal between Rogers and Shaw, they have that opportunity to be the fourth major carrier. That could bring some prices down. So as in for consumers, that will also impact, of course, our big three. Now, right now, and here's the thing about Bell. A lot of people are looking at Bell and they're like, oh, Bell is still moving down. But I look at it this way, the whole sector is in trouble right now. It's not just Bell. If Rogers and TELUS were moving up and Bell was moving down, that to me would then be a different story. But right now, as long as it's all happening sector-wide, I'm okay with it. The sector will recover. Bell will recover. And I think the prices of where Bell is at right now, I think is not bad. And that's one of the reasons I added them to the 0 to 100 because I do have some faith in Bell long-term. So, we'll see. I mean, we're definitely going to see as we move on. Now, Chad says BCE in a lot of pain. Same with TELUS, Tigers, EMP, AQN, any company with heavy debt. Can't believe the CPI. And that's a thing. A lot of these companies that do have heavy debt, yes, they're paying higher interest rates right now. But once we do get rate cuts, and I'm still on June. I'm still on June. And we'll talk a bit more about that on this week as to why, because for a while I was wondering, is it going to maybe be July? But I've held steadfast to June, and a report that came out today is, it's going to help sort of cement why I'm sticking with June. All right. Oh, and Rogers instead of Tiger. I kind of was thinking Rogers, and then I saw Tigers. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think the Bank of Canada will cut rates until September, November. USA talk more rate hikes. I'm still looking at June, and I'll break my reasoning apart on the weekend for you. I know the US when they came out, and that was kind of what caused this whole mess yesterday. There was talk of not cutting rates or maybe even hiking rates at this point. If inflation remained sticky. But then Powell did have to come out after the panic that some of the talk earlier in the day created. He had to come out and sort of reassure them that there's more than likely going to be some rate cuts this year. So I do think we're going to see those. Now, here's the big issue, though. And this is the one sticking point, I think, right now for a non-June rate cut in Canada, is that if we cut rates and the US doesn't, that can sometimes lead to higher import fees. So when we're trying to move goods and products into the States, so that might be one reason that we might not want to cut so fast. But I still think we're gonna. I think we're gonna. Um, anyway, we'll talk more about that on Sunday. We can have a good discussion on that on Sunday, but I'm pretty confident. Sammer says, bit late, but I made it. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, Sammer. Always good to see you. Sammer bought some Tesla today. Oh, I really hope that feeling I have that Tesla is going to bounce back. I hope we're right. Even if it's just for Sammer's sake, I definitely hope we are right. And Sammer also bought some EQB, some decisive dividend, and and diversified. Oh, this is good. So you got yourself a royalty stock, and I love both DE and DIV, and I also love EQB. I love all three of those stocks, Sammer. So I can't complain. I definitely can't complain about any of that. Those are great stocks. Chad says, Tesla down 35% in my portfolio hurts. Yeah, like a sinking ship, but it's a long-term play. And I do have faith in Tesla long-term. That I think is without a question. It comes down to, and this is the thing about investing, right? It's whether your mindset, if your mindset is short-term, things are going to really, really bug you. Every time anything gets green or gets red, it's going to bug the banana bread right out of you. But if you have that long-term position, then you're sort of sitting there and it's like, oh, Tesla's down 35%. Fantastic. I'm going to buy some more. That's kind of the difference in attitude. And a lot of times it's that long-term investor who's not sort of, selling everything as soon as it sinks a little bit, but adding to it. They tend to be the ones who make the most money over the longer term when it comes to investing. So it's kind of that. And I've mentioned this before. I think I heard it originally. I think actually Brandon Beavis once mentioned it. But investing is like a bar of soap. The more you handle your stocks, the less you have. And that can be true. That can be absolutely true. Keith says, DRN, DGS, and FTN starting to show forward progress. So we're talking about some split core. That's the thing. Once the market starts going upwards, split core can be some fantastic, one would call them vehicles for making some passive income. Absolutely. The problem is, though, is when the market is not doing so great, a lot of the split core will sometimes do crazy things like cut their dividend. And here's the other thing, too, about split core. A lot of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them will use return of capital, so ROC. So when you're holding something like a split core, your best place is in a registered account. Because otherwise, if you have it in a non-registered account, you're going to end up paying more capital gain than you probably would like to. Enid says, what good oil ETFs are around? Well, one of my favorite oil ETFs is XEG. It's an iShares one. They have it even has a dividend. It's to me, it's just one of these that's really reliable. When oil's doing well, this ETF tends to respond really, really, really well. So that's one to look at. I'm sure there's a few more. If anybody else has a couple of oil ones that you're thinking of. Now, there's other ones too, like if you want like a covered call, like we know ENCC, and then the leveraged version ENCL. So there's some of those as well. But if you're looking for just a good solid ETF, you're not looking for the high passive income, then XEG is a good total return one, in my opinion. Chad says, let's see, but BCE hasn't done nothing in the last 10 years, down 7%. Wish I never bought it. Yeah, right now, when you look at the last 10 years, the lows that they're having right now are like 10-year lows. These are really, really low. And looking at their fundamentals are not bad. So having not bad fundamentals, having a good cash flow, and being at like 10-year lows, usually that's a good sign. But at the same time, if you really feel like BCE was going to go out of business, and I pretty much, I can't 100% guarantee you, but I can 99.999% guarantee that's not going to happen. There's pretty much it's one of those situations where you can say there's only place they can really go is up. It's just the way it works. Let's see. Just bought IPO. Oh, IMO. So Imperial Oil. Imperial Oil is a good, is definitely, well, they're not an ETF, but they're definitely one of the better of the oil companies. Patricia says, will BCE, I managed to get my average cost down. The sector will recover and added in TELUS too. Yeah, exactly. And this is where I'm going from. The sector will recover. Your price is going to go up. Now, if you bought back at their highs, yeah, you're going to be feeling the pain for a while because it might take a little bit for it to get up. And Chad right here mentions, yeah, bought Bell at $65. Yeah, it hurts, but here's the thing. If you know it's going to go back up, you know, you're probably like, depending on how your share is, because this is kind of what's neat about when you do your share. I calculate my my stake by how much it's worth at the time. So if something goes way, way down, then that share also goes down as well because it's worth less, which means I can then put a little bit more money in it. And when it goes back up, yeah, I may have had 5% initially. Maybe it fell so bad it goes down to like 3.5%. I take it back up to 5%. And then on the other side, once it does recover, if I want to pull that back to 5%, I'm just peeling profit off at that point. So, just one of those things to sort of keep in mind. All right. Nalar says, happy Friday, y'all. Offloaded my Nuvia this morning up 120% and threw it all into XEQT. There we go. A good old all equity ETF. All right. All right. Patricia says, I don't know if I can wait till June. Want to get rid of AQN. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Now, here, I will say, I actually did open a position in AQN. Well, this week in not in the 0 to 100K challenge, but in another account, because I do feel like right now the whole sector, so the utility sector itself, like everybody's down. Fortis is down. I mean, AQN definitely down big time. There's been a lot of interesting things that have happened in their, in their history in the last 3 years. They've made a lot of bad choices. So yeah. And as Chad says, a dumpster fire. There's a reason I used a dumpster fire on the thumbnail. And if you look at the thumbnail and you actually look at the dumpster file, you'll see AQN written on the actual dumpster. But just one of them, things that people may not look at right away. So not too bad. I do feel it is going to go up. It is going to go up from here. They are making, like their last quarter, they did beat expectations. So that's at least something. So I think there is that potential to move up. I think it's going to take a long time for them to completely recover. It's not going to be a quick thing, but it's going to happen. And yeah, the Hammond dividend, HMM.A dropped their dividend finally. Keith said, any thoughts on what to prioritize, Enbridge or real estate? So ENS or R both are impacted by the change of interest rates. Yeah, both are going to do well. So when we get the rate cuts, it's going to help the utility companies big time. It's going to help the real estate big time. Now, here's the thing, if you're looking at a real estate company that is not heavy on the office side, more on the residential side, I think those will be the ones that will do the best out of that group. So I've been sort of hedging with the 0 to 100K challenge. I've got the RioCan position and the Timber Creek Financial. Now, Timber Creek Financial is not a REIT, but they do the exact same thing as a REIT without being a REIT. So they behave in the exact same manner as well. So I have gone into those two positions. I might move into more. I might not. To me, it's kind of a situation where it's like, I don't have to go into a whole bunch. Like if I got a couple that I feel really good about, I can certainly look at that. Now, when you're looking at, so when you're looking at ENS or R, you're looking at split cores. In this case here, I mean, ENS has just been very reliable. For a split core, ENS has been one of those ones that they've done okay, even through the bad times. So even through the bear market, even through the energy slump, they weren't cutting their dividend, which is nice. I believe R was kind of in the same boat as well. But here's the thing. When you're in a situation, you know they're both going to do well, then you might as well go both. That was your third option was both. It kind of makes sense because I think it's going to be a situation like which one's going to do well. This one's going to do really good. This one's going to do really good minus yeah, a wee bit that you may not even notice. So in that case there, yeah, both. Both. I know, Chad. Chad, you have no. I can tell when Chad doesn't like a stock. I can tell. I can tell, and it's fair. It's absolutely fair. I look at it that way. Sammer says, "Me either, Chad." There we go. And Chad says, "Got sucked into the div trap early investing. Oh, those good old dividend traps." And that's the thing. A lot of times, and I'll talk. Let me have a sip here first. A lot of times with new investors, you get into the market and you start to get, for example, your first dividends. And you look at this and it's like, what? This company just paid me. Oh my God, this is fantastic. And you get all happy and you get giddy and you're like, oh, this is so great. Then you start looking at the yields and you start seeing these companies that pay big yields and you're like, oh my God, I can get a 10%. Look at this, I can get a 15%. And you get caught into it. So some people get pulled right in. And it's fantastic. It's lovely to get all of that money. And there is a place for that. So when you're looking at portfolios, for example, I will talk about the income retirement portfolio. Some of these income retirement portfolios, the only purpose that they have is producing, tax-free income. And in a case like that, when you're looking at things that, if it's a reliable 15% or a reliable 10%, something like, for example, Canoe, that's one of the reasons that Canoe is so good in one of these is that, it's been reliable and it has the history of being reliable as well. So it's not a bad thing when it comes to that. But as a new investor, and especially if you're younger, you might get in, let's say it's your first, you're in your 20s and you just started, you started playing around in the market and all of a sudden you're getting paid and it's like, yeah, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid. Imagine if I keep doing this, how much of a paycheck I'll be getting from these dividends. But here's the thing. You're missing that opportunity because when you're younger, you should be almost, your portfolio should be a growth portfolio. You should be looking at the heavier growth stocks and just building your amount of capital, just building it up and up and up. Because here's the beautiful thing. When you have like 40, 50 years before retirement, you've got time to ride out whatever the market wants to throw at you. So if the market, even let's go worst case scenario, let's say the market throws a depression at us. I don't think it's gonna, but I wanted to just use that for an example. You could ride out a decade and you could even during that decade, if you got good stocks, like let's say you had like Microsoft or some other blue chip stocks, you could just still continue to buy them, even though the price may be really, really far down. But if you don't sell on the other side of that, you're going to be looking really, really good as these things all recover. And as the markets get back to normal and the economy picks itself back up. So it's a good thing to be looking at growth, and a lot of the growth stocks will have a little bit of dividends. Your goal should technically be, and this is what I always say, I say total return. Look at the total, look at the growth, look at the dividends, look at what you're making total. And that should be like, if you've got a great stock that's giving you a total return north of 20%, you're not going to find a dividend stock doing that. And that is a good thing. So just one of those things you can keep up. And even with a retirement TFSA, and this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but you could do a total return TFSA. And then what you're going to do in that case is you're going to be growing your TFSA. You're also going to be at the same time. I see something. I just saw something ahead. I have to jump ahead to this. Mr. Math has just gifted a Mountain Finance membership. Holy banana bread. Now, this is actually funny. Hello, Mr. Math. It's good to have you in the stream. Now, this is not me, by the way. I do not know who. This is Mr. Math. So, wow, that's fantastic. Just give me a second. Let's see who won that. Chad, you won. Mr. Math has gifted Chad a membership. Oh wow, that is absolutely fun. All right. Okay, let's get back to these things here because that's way ahead in the thing. I just happened to just see it out of the corner of my eyes. Good Vibes says hello. Mario says I fell for the dividend trap at the start. Most of us do. I was tickled pink the first time I received a dividend, so I was like, "Ooh, this is great." Chad said, "Here, CP looking at hydrogen engines these days. Anyone there hear this?" Yes, absolutely. I know that they have I think they're doing like a trial with some hydrogen engines. I don't know how many engines though, but they are doing a trial where they're looking at this. So it could very well be a way to help cut the cost down. So that's fantastic. JJ says, I started with XEQT, so didn't have too many dividend yield expectations. Exactly. XEQT is more growth than dividends for sure. This sip is to you, Mr. Math. Just put that out there. VDY is better. All right. I do like the Vanguard. I do like Vanguard as well. Mario says, I have both XEQT and VDY. Chad has VFV, VDY, and ZID. There we go for India. And there we go. Sammer says, if only dividend matters, it better goes with HYLD, HDIV, HDIF. Yeah, they all have some pretty good dividends. And Chad says, oh, and the SCHD and the RRSP. Nice. Good American stock. Congrats, Chad. And Chad says, thanks, Mr. Math. Once again, going back to Mr. Math doing that membership. That's fantastic. And the funny thing is, let's pull this back up again. It's got the old picture because I turned him into a human in later videos, but we got the old Mr. Math. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's just really good. That's crafty. Whoever did that, you guys are awesome. You guys are really awesome. There we go. Thank you. Mr. Math is favoring Chad. There we go, Chad. Your number, you got his number, Chad. Chad says we're skiz. Yeah, exactly. Sophie saying smash that like button. Yeah, absolutely. Smash the like button, crew. So yeah, hit the like button if you haven't hit it yet. Turn it blue. I have no clue how many likes we have right now, but it should be a ton. I think we have 3. Well, actually, I'm going to refresh that page because it's telling me 3 from like a long. Okay, we had 25. We got 25. That's not bad. There's 36 in here right now, this instant, and 25 likes. So basically, there's a few people who are like, well, let's be fair. I want to be completely fair. If you're watching it on the TV, it's a lot harder to hit the like button. So, there's some people who are like having some, may not be able to hit the like button for that simple reason, or if you're cuddling with a cat, you may not be able to click on any buttons at all. So you may have started cuddling with a cat and my channel came on and you're watching this and you didn't even have a clue what this is all about. It could happen. Chad says, yeah, going to the casino tonight, all on red. Okay. Well, it was a green day in the market, but maybe red is your color. And congratulations, says Enid. Absolutely. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm loving this. All right. We'll bring this back up here for a second. I want to go back over to the Discord and we'll get the kitty out of the way and let's pull up our schedule. So this is, of course, our schedule for the week. So we got the live stream coming up on the 7th. So yeah, just a couple of days, we'll get that live stream coming. Next week, we got a pretty busy week. So we have, of course, we're going to do a video on ROA. So we're going to do a list video for Tuesday, ROA stocks. We got, of course, a market close on the 10th. And on the 10th, So 2 live streams on the 10th. We're going to do this week crypto night special. I don't know who I have yet. I got one person, and I have one potential who's skiing. So hopefully, if he can get back from his skiing out at Whistler, we'll have that second guest, which is good. I have one guest who I really, really wanted, but they kind of fell through, unfortunately. It was actually one of the Canadian Bitcoiners I was trying to line up. So, we'll get them on for something else in the future, because I do like the Canadian Bitcoiners. They're definitely an interesting group. Those, I don't know if you guys have watched any of them, but they're definitely interesting. All right. There we go. And Chad says 30 likes, 32. There we go. So yeah, it's pulling along. Yeah, I don't know yet what the deep dive is for next week. We have to vote on it. So I'll be getting that vote out on the weekend. Coming up the following week, though, we do have the channel members live stream coming up. So I will be putting out a basically a feeler for what you guys want me to do on that stream, and then we'll vote. We always vote. I love the voting. So we'll get that all done. Now, with us doing extra, extra market closes here and there, I will on Sunday. So on this week, we're gonna try our little experiment again. I'll give you guys the opportunity to win a extra market close, and I think we're gonna aim for maybe Monday. So we'll give you guys an opportunity to win that market close on Monday. So that'll be fun. We'll do that on the weekend. This will be a fantastic weekend. Now, that will be kind of neat, because if we did do a market close on Monday, there might still be a little bit of the eclipse left in the sun. It will be on its way out. It's on its way out. Like right now, where I'm at, just to be clear, I'm not getting 100% eclipse. I'm getting a 99%. So pretty darn close. It's going to get dark. It is definitely going to get dark, but not 100. I wouldn't need to go far south to get to that 100, but 99, I'll take it. This is great. So Chad says, this channel, great. Thanks all for making this the best YouTube channel. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got a great community. I look at it this way. You guys are the superstars. I'm like, have you ever seen where you get like a super team and you get that person who just sits back at the control quarters and sends them off to different missions and stuff? That's me. That's all I'm doing. You guys are doing all the heavy lifting. You guys are going out there. You're making the money. You're pulling in the returns. Yeah, you guys just absolutely rock it day in and day out. So that makes it easy. That makes it easy because you guys come in, you guys bring in your wins, and it's just great. Now, this is perhaps not a win, but there was an earthquake today in New York City, 4.8, but it was still enough to shake things a little bit and make people wonder what's going on. So good old New York, 4.8 earthquake. I wonder what it was like on the market floor when things shook a little bit. That would have been kind of neat to see. Chad wants to know, Ina, did you buy any BTC on the dip? So any Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin did have a little bit of a correction this week, but it's slowly moving its way back up again. Chad says, any insight why HMMA dropped hard? They have a big contract in India. They do. Right now, both Hammonds, so HMM.A and HPS.A, they actually have a very good presence in India, and they've got a lot of work over there. A lot of it, I think a lot of the drop that HMM.A has seen is just a correction. They grew way too fast. And you have corrections are 100% normal, and they're great opportunities to get back in. I still have full faith in both Hammond companies. I mean, they quite honestly, they've got more work than they can handle, and it's not going away. It's only going to get more. The demand is going to keep going up. So I think that is going to be absolutely fantastic. Let's see. JJ says the goal is to reach financial independence by the age of 35. Nice. And you know what, JJ? I believe you can do it. I believe you can do it. That'll be fantastic. Then, you know, you can get to a point where your money is making everything for you. And that to me is very cool. All right. Whoops. I can pull me back up again. Let's see. Enid says, since I bought Bitcoin, everything is down. Not buying anymore. But here's the thing. If things go down, if you buy something and it goes down, it means, oh, I get an even better deal now. Bitcoin is one of those things, they always are going to be going back up. So I have a lot of faith in Bitcoin, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to buy when it is low, because, you know, that's how you make money, right? Buy low, sell high, all of that fun stuff. Jerry is mentioning Niagara Falls is under a state of emergency due to an expected 1 million people to show up on Monday. Yes. Now, here's the beautiful thing. I don't know about the weather for Niagara Falls, but I know here, we don't even have a cloud in the sky on Monday. It's going to be 16 degrees, no clouds, full view. So that'll be fantastic. Paul says, I put my HMM.A dividends into BTCC.B at 7 a.m. There we go. So yeah, so BTCC, that is a Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin ETF. It's one of the purpose ones. It is also pegged to the US dollar. So I do like that one. Whoops, almost jumped ahead. Jerry says, anyone buying AMC? Not me. I tend to try to stay away from anything that even gets remotely associated as being a meme stock. But yeah, but you know, if you were in on it when Wall Street Bets started driving some of those prices up, you could have made some money. You definitely could have made some money. Sammer is waiting for HMM drops under 10 to enter. Well, here's the thing. This is what I say. If you're waiting for under 10, I would recommend using some limit orders, right? Because I've seen times where I've seen people where they're saying, okay, well, when it drops under 10, I'm going to buy. And it dropped under 10 when they weren't near their computer. It may have been down there for 30 minutes and then went back up again. So that would have been a great opportunity to get in if you have a limit order. And that's not a bad way to buy, by the way, folks. When you're looking at a price, and if you look at the volatility of where it's at, instead of just buying it straight out, throw a limit order on it. You know, even if it's like, you know, a little bit less. I mean, you're getting your lower entry point. So that is one way to handle it. All right, and we have a super sticker, I think, or it's a super something. I think it's a super sticker. It's a super sticker. No, it's not. It's a super chat. It's a super something. We got a super from Paul for $1. That $1 going into the challenge. So right now that takes the challenge up to, I think it takes up to 503 for next month. We just started. So thank you very much, Paul. Well appreciated. Ken says, hello, Ken. Welcome to the stream, the bonus stream. And I did tell you guys on Wednesday that when I give you a bonus one, I'm not going to like just come in and do a half hour. You get the full deal. Whoops. That's sorry, Chad. I accidentally missed you to talk to you. Anyway, Chad says BTC go through the roof in 15 days. No worries. It's a long-term play. So 15 days. What we're talking about is the Bitcoin halvening. So right now, I think it's estimated at about April 20th. So yeah, about 15 days. Once that happens, the rewards for mining Bitcoin basically get cut in half. So that means less Bitcoin. That means scarcity. That's the price will go up. Now, in the past, the price hikes after a halvening usually take a little bit before they actually start showing up. So it can be a month to a little bit later in the year. So, you know, don't expect that on the 21st, any Bitcoin you bought on the 20th is all of a sudden going to be double in value. It's not. It takes a while for it to actually start happening. So we'll see. Chad says, but when you hold the ETFs in BTC, you don't actually hold any BTC. Correct. But when futures hit the markets, you can leverage your positions. There we go. Ian says, oh, hey, Ian, I don't think I saw you here yet today. What's a good fee for managing a portfolio? MFC offered me 2%, but 0.45% cash back once a year. So 1.55. Got to move an RRSP portfolio. So is that so that 1.55, is that all about just moving your portfolio, or are you going to have them actively manage some stuff as well? Just a thing, just wondering here. Chad says, I do limit orders on BTC. Best choice. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to knock it down. Paul says, cheapest super chat only had 126 in my Google Play balance from Google Opinions app answering surveys. Like, did you shop somewhere? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that you can just go answer a couple questions and then all of a sudden you got some money thrown into your Google Play. Anyway, it's much appreciated, Paul. Much appreciated. Now here's a funny question. I don't even know this. Like, what is the cheapest, the cheapest chat you can do? Because I know you can sort of, I don't know if it'll let you go below 99 cents. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen, but it'd be interesting to see. It'd be funny if you could do like a dime. That would be hilarious, or a quarter. Because then you could say, "Hey, here's a quarter. Call someone who cares." That would be hilarious. Chad says, "Ian, I'll handle your portfolio for 1%." There you go. Chad will take your portfolio and run. Nah, Chad's a very stand-up guy. He wouldn't do that, but that sounds funny in my head. Enid says, "Chad, tell me on Discord what the real Bitcoin is, and I'll buy it." There you go, Chad. You've got yourself a chair. You got yourself a chore. You got yourself a chore. Ken says, I like BTCX personally, much lower MER, 40%. Yeah. And that's the thing with these Bitcoin ETFs. If I was holding them for long term, I would, of course, look at the actual MER. However, what I use the BTCC for is swing trading. So for me, I don't even care about the MER. I'm just caring about the fact that I can predict its movement a lot easier because of how well correlated it is with the price of Bitcoin. So that's the reason that I use that one. Let's see. JJ says Wealthsimple Investments charges 0.55%. And though I think Ian had a few issues with Wealthsimple the last time. Let's see here. BTC, no management fees. Yeah, if you hold straight BTC, so hold it, for example. Problem is that wherever you buy it. So if you're buying it on ShakePay or if you're buying it on Wealthsimple and then transferring to a hardware wallet, there's still fees in there. There's still a spread that they use that basically pays them so that they make money. But if you're buying it low and you pay a small fee, you're going to make that fee back up pretty quickly. So just something to keep in mind. JJ says, I'll fight Chad to manage yours, Ian. There we go. Cage match, Chad versus JJ. And they're both in the prairies. So they wouldn't even have to go far to do it. Ian says, I think it's active managed. Was a group RRSP, but now my work has went a different direction. Oh, interesting. Paul says, earned $436 so far from Google Opinions app. Holy banana bread. That's not bad. How long did it take you to actually do that, though? Like, did you do that in a year? Or because that's not bad if you're just filling out the occasional opinion and they're paying you. That's not bad at all. Volume. Nice. Would like to go to Wealthsimple, but I'm still mad at them. Yeah. I hear you. I remember how mad you were, and I can understand if that doesn't go away very fast. Nice. Is that tax-free? Well, that's a thing, Is it tax-free? So technically it's not. Anything you earn, even if it's from something like that, you're supposed to claim. But I bet you a lot of people don't do it, but you are supposed to. Let's see. Enid, use Wealthsimple and open crypto account and buy it there. Yeah, there you go. There's a way to do it. And even then, you could just hold it on Wealthsimple. You don't absolutely have to move it to a hardware wallet, especially where you're brand new. Now, when you start to actually get a significant amount of Bitcoin, then you probably make sense to then start thinking about moving it over to a hardware wallet. And you and me both, Ken. You and me both. I wish we could get a Solana ETF. That would be fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic. I love Solana. I do. I do. Chad says, or use that link I sent you to earn free Bitcoin. There we go. A few years ago, not sure, exactly sure the time frame. Okay. Okay. Jerry says, bought a Bitcoin nerd miner on Amazon, hoping to catch a block, which equals to 6.25 Bitcoin. Nice. That's very cool. Enid says, let's see, I did that already and got Dot and Solana. Good stuff. Good stuff. You got the Solana, and I like Dot. Dot's another one. I actually have a hoodie in here in my closet somewhere that has polka dot on it. Because I loved polka dot back in the day, and I still like it. I still have a soft spot for polka dot. And Chad says, just buy ETH. Just buy ETH. There we go. And BTC. Paul says, since April 6, 2019, 436 Google Opinions app. Nice. Now, are you answering all of them, or is that just by doing the ones that you run into it? You're like, oh, I'd like to do that one. Just kind of curious, because maybe you're just doing them all. I don't know. Like maybe if somebody was really aggressive, they might be able to make more, or maybe not. Let me know, Paul. I'm kind of curious. Ian says, might talk to Wealthsimple. 55 would be okay. I want this money to be managed by someone besides myself. I have a lot with Wealthsimple already. Is there a downside to having everything on one platform? The only downside would be if Wealthsimple were to completely crash. Like when I say completely crash, I mean like if they went out of business. But even then, even in the worst case scenario, all of their stuff is insured, but up to a certain amount, and that's where some people will go. Like so, for example, let's say you have $100,000 that is insured. And I can't remember the exact number. The amount that is insured. Is it 100,000? You guys, anybody know off the top of your head the CDIC if they only cover up to 100,000? I think it's 100,000. If it's only 100,000 and you have 200,000, you might want to use two different platforms: 100,000 on one, 100,000 on the other, and you've got insurance on both. So all of your money is being insured. Whereas if you put all 200,000 in Wealthsimple, and let's say something happened where Wealthsimple just spiraled completely out of control and disappeared, sort of like they were being run by a certain guy by the name of Friedman, then you would only get 100,000 back. You'd lose half of your money that way. So that's one reason that people might look at splitting things. Not because they think it's going to happen, but that way they're covered if the worst were to somehow happen. All right. And Sammer says, yes, Canada shed jobs in March, 2,200 jobs to be precise. Unemployment rate rises to 6.1%, not cents. Recession soon? No recession soon. Right now, our next GDP result is looking to be positive. Hence, for even to get a technical recession, you're still looking more than half a year out. And even then, once we cut rates, that's kind of. I don't think we're going to see a recession. I think we're getting that soft landing, but I think we skirted it. I think we just skirted it. Now, if a black swan event of some major proportion were to come along, that could definitely change things. Oh, here's the answer I was looking for. So, 300,000. Holy banana bread. I don't know why I thought 100,000, but there you go. If you had like 600,000, then you might want to split 300 here, 300 there. Just a thought. It's one of those things where it's good to have protection. And Ian is now saying 500,000. So I don't know. I thought at one point it was 100,000, but now it could be, well, maybe Chad's right. It's 300 or maybe it's 500. Find out how much it is. If you have more than that and you're concerned, like significantly more than that, then maybe look at splitting things up a little bit just to make sure you have that protection. All right. And Paul says, answering everything they give me. Oh, okay. So you can't just sort of go in and browse. It's just whatever they send you. Understood. I'm like that with Amazon. Amazon Prime will send me previews of some of their new shows, and I will watch it and give them, fill out a survey on it. And then they usually give me a gift card for like, 20, 30 bucks or something. Amazon gift card, of course. But I do it because then it's like, hey, I'll I'll probably watch this anyway when it comes on the air. Might as well watch it ahead of time and get paid for it. Paul says, use the Google Play balance earned from Google Opinions app to pay for YouTube Premium when the balance is large enough. Google Play balance primary payment method for YouTube Premium fails, then CC, then your credit card. Yeah, there we go. And then Chad's saying, there we go. We already looked at that. And FDIC, whatever it's called. Oh, maybe that's what the 500 is, Enid. Is that both of them together or something? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. And now, yes, I have just heard this, that, well, Simple is now looking at doing mortgages. That is absolutely kind of cool. And Chad is saying, think 2025 depression. Can't trust what the government says to us. Well, that's the thing. I don't think we're going to see a depression, but you've got the thing going on where people are saying, you know, my Uber driver the other day told me to buy NVIDIA. I think that was Vic who was saying that the other day in chat, because that's kind of what happened with the big depression that happened back in, back in the 30s. Before the depression happened, it's like even your shoe shine guy was giving you all these stock tips because it was so easy to make money. I don't think that's going to happen, but and part of the reason I think it won't happen is governments are the kind of tricky now. They're at the point they've got tools where it's like, okay, we're in trouble. Let's make it worse by printing money so that we don't have to face the problem now, and we'll just keep pushing it down the line. And that happens a lot. So I don't think we're going to be a situation where they would even let us go into a full-on depression. Will they let us go into I don't even think they'll let us go into a recession, to be honest, at this point. Unless it suits their purposes. I think right now, especially in Canada, we got a federal election coming in a year. I think at this point, the Liberals are doing everything they can to try to win back some votes. They're not doing very well, but we'll have to see how that's all going to go. But I think right now we're pretty much safe. We're pretty much safe. All right, by going shipping and don't have headphones. Okay, fair enough. Shopping. There we go. All right. Well, we're almost at the end of the stream anyway, Paul. So you're not going to miss too much. Oops. Chad said they lie. Okay, they lie to us because they don't want people to panic and pull their investments out and start a major crash. Well, I don't know. Here's one of the things. When you look at how many moving pieces are in government, one constant I always think about is that it's hard to keep secrets. So if there was a big conspiracy, I sometimes feel like it would be really hard for them to keep that all in. But I could be wrong, and maybe that's what they want me to think. I could be given into them. Chad. I don't know. Ian says, I should call and ask how the insurance works. I wonder if 300 in one account and 300 in a different account, but the same platform would be 600 or 300 twice. You could ask. I think it's cumulative on what you have in their portfolio, in their broker. But if it's not, let me know what they say. Let me know, because if that would be a good thing to know. Chad says it's per account, so there we go. So per account. All right. Ken saying, be right back. Ian said, heard on the radio the unemployment was getting bad, might signal a rate cut. Yeah, the unemployment did go up. I mean, there were sectors where there was job growth, but like healthcare, for example, social services. Well, social services, it makes sense. You need more people to deal with all the people who no longer have jobs. So yeah, that does make sense. All right. Ian saying total balance in cash is assured at Wealthsimple. There we go. TFSA, RSA, cash account. Cash is now 500,000. There we go. All right, we got it. Okay, if you guys got any last minute questions, throw them in. We'll get them done here before we head out to pasture and go say hi to the kitten. Ian says, when talking about retirement funds, a lot of people will have over 300K. Yeah, absolutely. If you've been playing the game right and you're into your retirement funds, hopefully we're talking large amounts. So yeah, more than 300K, I would definitely hope so, for sure. Now, there are people in retirement, though, that don't have that much, who perhaps never learned about investing and maybe started late. So there's a bit of everybody, but I think if you've been playing the game right, when it comes to your in retirement planning, hopefully you have more than 300K. Chad says, why I like TFSA, because it's tax-free. Yeah, love anything that is tax-free. That is always fantastic. I love that too. Whew. Almost finished all of this beautiful coffee in the Starbucks mug. Every time I say it, I keep hoping somewhere's on me that Starbucks will come back and say, "Oh, we forgot about you. Here you go. Here's some money. Let's just throw it at you." Mm. Oh, that's so good. And also a huge shout out to Mr. Math. Whoever made Mr. Math, you absolutely rock. And I know you're never going to tell me who you are, but you can definitely keep me on my toes. Keep me on my toes. That is so fantastic. Um, so RRSP only good for tax evasion. Yeah, exactly. It's a good. Well, I mean, if you use it strategically, you can eliminate. Well, you can eliminate a lot of tax. But yeah, I mean, your TFSA is definitely greater than the RRSP. And that TFSA is that thing that you want to really be utilizing in retirement, producing income that you're not getting taxed on, that's not eating supports, so that you can get the most. You can get the most financially out of retirement, of course. Sophie says, I have to walk the pooches. Wishing each of you a fantastic weekend. Well, have a great weekend yourself as well, Sophie. Say hi to your puppies for me. You're your doggies. Chad says, yes, have a great downs. See you all on Sunday. Jerry says, getting paid with coffee would be good too. Yeah, I would. Okay, I should do that. Starbucks, send me some coffee. Just send me a whole bunch of it. A whole bunch. I will drink it on the air too. Ian says, should really talk to a retirement planner soon. I'm thinking I'm close, but I might be way off. Yeah, it never hurts to talk to a retirement planner. So, definitely do that. Yeah, I always will say, I will give you the education, but when you start making some of the moves, it never hurts to talk to like a retirement planner or even a financial advisor if you can find a good one. There's a lot of really bad ones out there. But that's a beautiful thing. The education that you're hopefully getting from this channel will give you that know-how that if you do ever decide you want to look at a financial advisor, you'll know the questions to ask and you'll be able to tell if they're an idiot right off the bat. Right off the bat. And then Chad says, yeah, Ian, talk to a planner 5-10 years before retiring. Yeah, there we go. Exactly. And I will. I mean, I've got a lot more retirement income, retirement educational. There we go. Retirement education plan for the channel. So that's all coming. Anyway, I'm going to end it on Enid's on Enid here. She has a great comment. Thank you, Candace, and all. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, you guys. I will, of course, see you guys on Sunday. So it's not that deep. But enjoy your Saturdays. I'll see you guys all on Sunday. And we'll have a fantastic chat. I can feel it already. I can feel the energy for Sunday, just a building. So until then, everybody, take care and bye-bye.